All right. Good afternoon. You guys are not ready, right? Okay, let's try all again, okay? After I say good afternoon, I would like to get the feedback from you guys, okay? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, that's so much better. One last time, okay? Good afternoon. So much better. Is it possible if we can turn around and then shake hands with the friends sitting next to us? They have a little greeting to shake hands with them and say good afternoon. Yes, have a little more warm up. Before I came up to the stage, Patrick, Mr. Teal, he told me that, okay, Derek, maybe later on, maybe you came up to the stage and then you can ask the people to see if they can understand Cantonese. All right, this is only for my curiosity. Okay, don't worry, I will still be speaking in English. Okay, but just for my curiosity, anyone here can actually speak in Cantonese? Can understand Cantonese? Okay, 国语啦。国语 normally okay, right? Okay, English? Okay, Japanese? No, right? Okay, French? No, okay, sorry. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the MC just now mentioning. Today's my topic is good enough is not good enough, okay? Well, before I start anything, I would like to give a special thanks to some of my team members. Actually, they gave me a lot of ideas when we had the business trip 2 weeks ago in Thailand. The gentleman sitting next to me, his name is Tak. He grew up in England, and then he came to Hong Kong since about 2 years ago, joined my team, now became an assistant unit manager, leading a team of 3. Okay, his name is Tak. And the lady standing behind him is actually Kathy, and she was actually an accountant. And the other lady standing right in the middle is Rita. She was doing the nutrition, something like that, in the university. And the other one, Amy, standing behind me, she was doing the archery before she joined this company 1 year ago. They gave me a lot of ideas about what I talk about today. So if I'm not going to give you some ideas, okay, don't blame me, blame them. Okay, I'll leave them the numbers, okay? Anyway, okay. How many of you have been to Thailand in March this year, which is the agency leaders conference that I'm talking about? Any one of you were there? Some. Okay, I see some hands. Okay, all right. If you're interested after this sharing, and then probably you can go up to YouTube. If you type in AIA Derek Lau, again you can find some of my videos, and including the one that I did in Thailand this March. At that moment, the topic was leading to win. So this one is something like the episode 2, okay, which is it's not good enough. Before I start anything, I would like to show you a video, which is a video in 1999, I guess. Okay, in that commercial, you will see one gentleman, I like him very much, and in fact, he inspired not only me, but he inspired a lot of people in the world. Let's have a look.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Everyone knows him, right, Michael? Yeah, okay, I usually call him Mike, okay, a good friend of mine. Yeah. Anyway, in the commercial, he mentions that, okay, he missed more than 9,000 shots in his career, lost more than 300 games, and 26 times he was being trusted, but he missed the final shot. Again, fail again, and that's why he succeeded. Inspired me pretty much, not only nowadays, but since I started this career, I started to do a management role. In fact, today I'm 37, okay, I'm 37 years old. I started this career when I was 23. At that moment, I just graduated from Melbourne and then came back to Hong Kong, and I did marketing before, but I don't want I didn't want to spend time on the advertising industry, but preferring to start here. Anyway, I started in 2003, and since 2004, I started to get promoted as the assistant unit manager. I started to recruit, started to build my own team. However, just like my best friend Mike, fail and fail again. My people come in and go, just like that. However, every time, when some people in my team, they left my team, I just sat down and then came to ask myself, if I got a chance to redo it again, what would I do? Of course, honestly, I guess for those people who left my team, maybe they make mistakes as well. But I know that if I could do something better, I think probably they could have stayed. So every time when someone left, I asked myself, what could I do again to do it better? Even up till now, I still make mistakes, but at least now I guess the things I make right are so much more than mistakes I made. So I would like to say, okay, before this slide, okay, I would like to say, every time I would like to think about the mistakes and also try to fix out the errors. Why I show this slide, Asian number 1, starting in 2006. At that time, I had 2 agents. They're still in my team, Tracy and Cynthia. At that time, one morning, I had a morning meeting, which is very, very crucial, not only on that day, but actually in my whole career and also the career of DL. In that morning meeting, I asked 2 of them, Cynthia and Tracy, I asked them and say, okay, you know what? This morning, we have to figure out 2 things. First, what should we call ourselves? Which is the team name. Second, I guess that we actually have to figure out the philosophy, the vision. What vision should this team be? That means that, okay, if someone asks you, okay, what DL is to be like, then what would you say? That morning, after that, and then we conclude to have the team's name as DL, which is actually my short name, Derek Lau. They said that because actually I'm the leader, and then they said that they want me to be the center of influence or something like that. Okay, and also after that, and then I said, okay, one day I believe that my team DL will have a lot of people. Maybe at the moment I have no idea how to get rid to them. Okay, how to approach them. Maybe I have no idea. But I believe that one day our team will be great. Everyone in the whole AIA, they will not only know in us, but they will know that this team, they're doing great. And so that morning, I decided to name our vision is to be the Asian number 1. In 2007, which is 1.5 years later, my team DL has become the Asia number 2 in our category. The year after, which is about 2008, we become to be the Asian number 1. And so that's why I say in the last 8 years of time, we have been 6 times of Asian number 1. Thank you. So we have to be determined. If you really want to get it, go get it. Be determined. You are the leader. You are the leader. The next slide I would like to show is that, okay, I would like to skip it to this one first. Leadership is all about influence, nothing more, nothing less. Just now, back to my own story, I mentioned that at that morning, I had to set the whole vision, the whole philosophy, right? Just come to ask yourself, if someone asks you, your team, what is your vision? What's your philosophy? What would you like to be? And then what would you say? If you have a chance to talk to my people in DL, everyone, they can tell you straight away, in every year, no matter what category we are in, we only have one vision, one goal, which is Asian number 1. Because we think that we are cool. We think that that name is cool. We think that we deserve that. So that's why in this slide, I say that leadership is all about influence, nothing more, nothing less. back to some slides that I would like to show you, is that this is the picture. From 2006, I had 2, and then now I have about 60 people. In this picture, I guess we have about 50, because some of them, they were in China doing business or something like that. They're all young, passionate people. You can see all university graduates, and in fact, half of them, actually, they are master holders. Next slide, I would like to let you know how I found them. You can see among about 50 people, well, half of them, or maybe more than half of them, okay, I met them through online. And then 14 of them, I met them through the internship. And some of them, they're my friends or relatives. And some of them, they're my clients. And what they did before, most of them, 33 of them, they were fresh graduates. And 4 of them, initially they were bankers. And 3 of them, they're accountants. 1 did a jury, 2 business owners, and some of them, they're corporate executives and having a very high income. What I mean high income is, well, more than 1 million Hong Kong dollars, which is about, more than 21 吧, 21 Singapore dollars, okay. And this is some part of our achievements last year, okay. Last year, we had about 50 members. Out of 50, we have 35 MDRT members. In those 35 members, 3 of them are actually TOTs and 3 of them are COTs. And altogether, last year, we did 3.8 million US FYC. And, thank you. And most importantly, okay, 15 of them, they got the annual income of 130 grand US, and 5 of them, they got even $380,000 US, and 4 of them, they got 640 grand US as total as the annual income. I'm proud of them. And of course, in the other way around, they make me proud too. And so far this year, we have achieved 3.4 million FYC US. And if you, just now, if you pay a little attention, we can go back to the last slide. Can you see that last year, for the whole 12 months, we did 3.8 million. However, up till now, only July, right, we almost make a level. We have done 3.4. Good. It's not good enough. Now you know what I'm saying. And we are targeting, in the whole year, we're targeting 7.7 million US FYC, and we have altogether 70 people. And in those 70 people, we have 55 MDRT members, including 7 TOTs and 12 COTs. Wish Singapore good luck. Wish DR good luck. Remember that, nothing more, nothing less. All about leadership. It's all about influence. Well, I don't direct the team, but I say I set up an atmosphere, and the atmosphere directs the team. This line is pretty cool, right? Yeah, I wrote that. Okay, all right. Well, what I mean is that, okay, you know what? I read out a message I sent yesterday before I got on the flight. I sent to one of my assistant unit managers, which is Tag, the gentleman I showed you before. I said, "Dear Captain Tag, DL needs your leadership when I'm not around. See if you can get some cases to cheat them up. Good luck, Captain." Okay. In fact, I sent the same message, just rewrite the name to all other assistant unit managers as well. And then, yeah, they're all my captains. And in fact, you know what? Yesterday, at least 3 of them, at least 3 of my assistant unit managers, they really got cases. I believe that somehow it's the reason behind is that they get my empowerment. They feel that I treasure them. They feel that they're the captain, they're leading the team. This is really important. Come to the next slide. Why is that make sure your instruction is precise? I always hear a lot of managers, a lot of leaders, they say, "Hey, come on, cheer up, come on, keep fighting. Hey, 加油," something like that. But I believe that is quite That's quite useless. That's quite bullshit. What? What does it mean by 加油? 加油, something like that. 加油. Come on, what is that? Keep fighting. What is that? Keep fighting. The instruction is not precise enough. I'll give you a little example. Last month, before I left Hong Kong to MIB, the meeting in Bangkok, one lady in my team, her name is Tina. In July, she did very, very badly. Up to the third week of last month, only got one case, which is the FIC about 2,000 US maybe, okay. And then before I left, only 1 week left, okay. And then I told her, Tina, you know what? I believe that you can do better. There is no loser in the team DL. I believe that even though this month, I know there may be something bad happening on you, or maybe you're having some bad times, something like that. But this is the best time for you to show that you can overcome it. And I hope that in last month is June. In June, I believe that you can still achieve the MDRT pro rata, which is about, in US, which is about 9,000 maybe? Is it 9,000? Yeah, about 9,000 or 8,000. I believe that you can still make it. Try to grab the time when I leave. Okay, you have 1 week left. Get 5 cases with 8,000, 9,000. And then, when I came back, which is the 3rd of July, okay, and I asked her, Tina, so how's it? And then she got 7,000, very close to 8,000. And then I asked her, hey Tina, you know what? Sorry, I mixed a little bit, I mixed it up. Before I left, before 30th of June, I asked her to accomplish 8,000. And finally, she did 7,000. And then I told her I'll be leaving to Thailand for 4 days. That means when I came back to Hong Kong, it is July 4th. And then I said, Tina, you have 4 days, 4 more days. Just treat it as at a time. 4 more days. When I come back, I wish that you can tell me you can accomplish the last 1,000. When I came back, she did it. She really did it. This little example, this little story is trying to tell you sometimes as a leader, as a manager, you have to tell your people precisely what you really want, what you are expecting. What do you expect as in good? What is your average? What does it mean? What do you mean by average good? Everyone can define that in different meanings, right? And so that's why you have to tell it exactly what you want. In the case of Tina, I tell her my expectation on her, according to the cases, according to the FYC. Before 30th of June, she almost did 90%, but I still told her this is not good enough because you still have 1,000 left. And then first she finally got it. And one morning, I told to my team, you know what? For a team, have been done a lot of FIC so far. Her FIC last month, only 8,000, 7,000. I can tell you, it is not important at all. But I truly believe 8,000, 7,000 US FIC for her is everything. It is very, very important. Why? First, this is the income. Second, which is the confidence. And also third, which is the experience. She knows that she can overcome problems. This is very, very important for an individual. So that's why this slide I say, make sure your instruction is precise. Delegation is a secret of expanding. So that means if you like to expand your team, you have to delegate. Just now back to the message, you can see that I delegate jobs, right? Besides that, okay, I can tell you some more examples. Some of my assistant unit managers, they in charge, like they hold some events, they book the rooms, they book the restaurants to make sure they have everything right. Sometimes they hold the telephone approach section. Sometimes they do the drilling, they do the role play, something like that, okay? I remember when I just joined this industry, just joined this company when I was 23. At that moment precisely, I just joined for 2 months. One morning, my boss, Terrence, just came up to my desk and asked me to have a little chat in his room. That's actually quite frightening, actually. I said, oh, come on, Derek, okay, have a seat, just relax yourself, okay? Well, okay, the more he said relax myself, I cannot relax myself, okay? Anyway, he told me, Derek, you know what? You have joined my team like for 2 months. And during these 2 months, and I can see your leadership. I would like to ask you a simple question, Derek. If I ask you to in charge or to lead a little team like for 4 members, 5 members, do you believe that you can do it? And I said, boss, thank you so much for your compliment, but I don't think I can do it. Boss, serious, I'm not trying to be humble, but I have only been joining this team, this company, for 2 months. I seriously don't believe in myself that I can handle it. And then he asked me a very, very tricky question, my boss, Terrence. And then he said, Derek, I repeat my question one more time. My question is, I see your leadership and I believe in you. And are you going to believe yourself as well? Okay, boss, I got your idea. Thank you. Okay. What I was thinking is, if someone believes in me, there's no way that I don't believe in myself. That's the biggest joke in the world. Is that right? If someone believes in you, and then you don't believe in yourself. And so that's why I answered my boss, okay, boss, I know what to do. Okay, so what you want me to do then? And since then, my boss, Terrence, he asked me to hold the little team of about 4 members, including me, 5. In a week, I did training, I did a morning meeting, I hold the team for them, like to share the cases, everything. Initially, it wasn't successful at all because all the team members in the team, the reason why they joined the company, not because of me, Derek, but because of Terrence. However, since time goes by, we started to build up trust. And I started to gain some respect from them. And then the team became more successful and more successful. And by the way, 4 of them, one has been a lot of times of COTs and TOTs eventually, and the other also a lot of years of COTs, and the other one always double MDRTs. I think I've contributed a little bit. So that's why I said delegation is a secret of expanding. If you would like your team to be expanded, you have to delegate your work. Don't think that it is very easy work. Why? Because of this. Selfishness makes your team limited. Generosity makes your team stronger. Sometimes I often see a lot of leaders, they are too scared to let some other assistant unit managers or maybe other managers to teach, to talk to their people. Why? They are scared. They lack of confidence. They are scared of what? They are scared that maybe their people started to like the other managers, the other leaders, but do not respect them. This is a big problem. I see a lot of times, seriously, especially for some junior leaders. Because of that, they can never expand the team because he is the only one to do all the things. And he can never use the resources of other assistant managers or managers. But just imagine if you can use this special network, maybe this time I ask someone to train, to have lunch, to talk to my people. The other time, the other thing's wrong. Maybe I take the chance to teach his people to have lunch with his people, the things will be so right. And that means that you can exchange information, and also you can use the time more effectively. Is that right? And when your team is starting to get bigger, you can do this among your team members. And then you can build up some second level, some third level. So this is very, very crucial for expanding the team. The last slide I would like to say is, this is a very good way to build up the ownership. Ask for advice. I always ask for advice. I ask my members advice. I always do like this. Why? Is it because, first of all, I would like to know, I would like to listen to their ideas. I think that sometimes they're brilliant ideas. But if I'm too stubborn, and then maybe their ideas can never go into my ears. So first of all, I would like them to get involved. I like them to feel respected. So that's why I ask them for advice. However, you are still the leader. You have your principle. You have to judge. You have to judge if the advices are good, a fit to your principle. If it's no good, and then you can scan it. If it's not at the right time to implement that, you can leave it. But remember that I'm not sure if you have ever watched the drama show of Donald Trump, which is The Apprentice. I guess some of you may have watched that, right? He always has two assistants. Sometimes his daughter is sitting next to him, and then sometimes another worker maybe has been working for his company for a long time. He always asked them advices, especially when he came to a time that he could not make a decision which one to fire. So even for a successful person like him, he asks for advices too. Ask yourself, how many times you ask advice to your members? Sometimes maybe not. But if you like your team to grow, you have to do that. Delegate, trust them. They feel the trust, they feel the respect. Be decisive. Well, your members, they look at you, they live with you. They live with you, actually. Every moment they spend the time with you, actually they are looking how you lead the team. They find your leadership throughout your behavior, throughout the way you talk, throughout the way you speak, throughout the way you act. So that's why actually you have to be decisive. Throughout the decisions you make, they will see if you're a good leader, if you are the one that they can trust. So you have to be decisive. The next slideshow, I would like to show you another commercial, which is about 10 years ago. David is another my idol, also another best friend of mine, because actually he always gave me a lot of inspirations, not only his handsome outlook, but he gave me a lot of inspirations from his acting. Try to see this video.
I love drawing and I love copying things, but seriously, that's the worst face I've ever seen. I think it's shocking, but it's not going to get much better than that.
If you still remember, in '98, he made
Do you ever visualise you
very bad
winning or
mistake.
anything in your head? You know?
Always.
He got the red card
I always dreamt of winning the
in the
World Cup. Not happened yet.
and made England team lost the game.
Still look back to '98. After the red card that I got against Argentina, what went on in my life and in my family's life after that, I think was very tough. It was probably the toughest moment in my career. I was having death threats. I never felt safe for 3.5 years. People used to turn around and they're saying that you've let your country down and you've let your family down, so how does that feel? I don't think I'd ever felt as alone as that as a person and as a footballer. It can knock a person down so much that they just go under.
The saddest thing is not only
Outside
whole
pubs in
England
London,
hates
there
him,
was
even
effigies
the
hung
fans
of me,
from Manchester United
and this was on the front
hate
of the
him too.
newspaper. It's just something that
Ask him to
sticks
go
in
to
my
hell.
mind from that time. I'm trying to think what was said about me at the time. And there was a headline of 10 lions, 1 stupid little boy.
It's still emotional, isn't it? Still raw.
Yeah.
He talked to himself that
This
he's
is a
gonna be
saying that I
positive.
use all the time, and it's true. It is a round world. 98 was just before the World Cup. I was at the top, and then
So still
after the
smiling
World Cup, I was at
and
the
keep
bottom.
practicing
And then
every
you
day.
work yourself back up. The upside for me was the Greece game.
And very soon the time,
Once the
22
game
years
started,
later.
was the start of an incredible day for me. It was either going to the World Cup that
which
day,
is a very, very
or
important
it
match
was
against Greece.
going into qualifying
If they win,
games, which
they can go
none
to
of
the
us
Euro
wanted
Cup
to do
that year.
because the expectations
If
of
they
us.
lost,
I remember
sorry,
Teddy
next
Sheringham
time.
getting a free kick on the edge of the box. And I remember putting the ball down, and I remember looking up at the clock and thinking, this is it. You know, this is the only chance I'm going to get now.
At the last minute of the game,
Was the
England,
man and
they
his
got
drum
one free kick.
around about here, I think. And then I stepped back, took the deep breaths, run up. And
It
as
is
soon as
not a
left my
drama,
foot, I
but
knew
it's
it was
really
it.
dramatic.
It was the loudest I think I've ever heard the fans. It was such a huge moment for
Step
everyone.
up how he's breathed.
I remember just running off and being that excited.
And
Just
finally he
jumping up
made
in the
that
air.
goal.
You know, I could have touched the top of the stadium if I wanted to because I felt that high. Right,
He's
the
a
whole
person who
canvas
is full
the
of
idea of the
belief.
goal. There's the ball in the corner. My celebration and the words belief, strength and family is what I needed and what I had to get through after 98. Finishes it off. Being in front of a blank piece of paper with experts around you as well, I think that is much more daunting than stepping out in front of 90,000 people playing football.
Still inspire me much. Believe and make the impossible to possible. And so that's why I write this line. We are always leading with light. Come to think about it, we're just like the captain of the ship. And all your members, they're in the same boat of you. You're the leader. Sometimes we have ups and downs. Of course, I know that. But no matter what, you have to give them light. You have to give them hope. Because if you cannot give them light, I can tell you straight away, they can go to a certain level they can never pick up. So we are the one to give them hope and light. And if you're having a bad time, try to make wise things and be your own David. The last slide, I would like to show you a video that I showed in this morning, which is a music video, actually. I directed by myself. I created a whole storyline, and I make for my team. Because every year, I make a video for my team. Later on, if you're interested, you can go to YouTube, you search AI Derek Lau, and you can see One Day, which is the video I made last year. And at this time, you're even the first part of the audience to watch that, because actually I just got the video yesterday, and even for my team members, they haven't watched it yet. But I would like you to enjoy the show first, okay? Thank you. Try to see it. Try to figure out the messages that I give in this video.
再一起看每出戲，再一起嘆
Yes.
每口氣。
I sing it.
在世上同偕到老的放
I recruit a lot of them from the university.
每分鐘也抱緊
Some
你
members met in my
沒有
team,
一
become
秒
lovers.
共你別離，還
It
攜
happens
手
here.
看着生
This is life.
與死。
坐着我着都分
And they're good
享，
friends.
日
They
日
share
夜
ideas.
夜也為彼此設想，站着望着都分享，就在夢
We are all
內
young, we are
發掘
passionate.
這真相。除非你是我，才可與我常在一個人。從鏡內發展恩愛，除非你是我，才可晝夜同在。戀不來， 從厭倦裏邊偷取。
The name of this song is 與我常在. That means together with me all the time. This is actually what I want to do in my team. They are not only my members, they are my family members.
兩個人同時佔有的快樂。
每分鐘與你揮霍，
We have a car club.
沒有一秒沒我在旁，
Not only for leisure, but we treat it as a recruiting tool.
空客與光。
坐着我着到分享。
The Chinese words that I wrote is that the one who is teaching Tai Chi might not be Chinese. The place to learn Tai Chi can be anywhere. So that means that if you're ready, everyone, anyone can be your teacher.
你是我，才可與我常在。一個人從鏡內發展恩愛，除非你是我，才可晝夜同在。
We work for our kids. We love them. We like to provide some good models, some good examples to them. We do this job with hope and light. We show to our children, not only to our members. In the Chinese wordings that I wrote here is that no matter you are having a drink at the bar or you are working in the environment, atmosphere is everything.
你是我，才可與我常在。一個人從鏡內發展恩愛，除非你是我，才可晝夜同在。戀不來，從厭倦裏面偷取恨愛，再一起會有多美？ 再一起也會不美，一個人同偕到老不靠運氣。
If you are a soldier, dream to be a general. If you draw, dream that you are Pablo Picasso. Next time, I hope one day you will be speaking on the stage and then be your Asian #1. Enjoy the last minute. I told all the patrons for themselves, I love my people.
Wow, 除非你是我，才可與我常在。一個人從鏡內發展恩愛。 除非你是我，才可晝
I hope you like it. I hope you like the presentation. And good luck, Singapore. And good luck to DL. Okay. Good luck, all the best in 2016. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Derek. Remain on stage. We have a bit of time left, and we can take some question and answers. Maybe I should kickstart with the first question, right? A lot of my colleagues are asking you, how are you and are you married or not? They are very interested to find out. Let me just get this out of the way first.
Should I answer this question?
Yes, if you can, why not?
Yes. I'm 37, and then I got married, and I have a little boy, and then he is 3 months old. Yes.
All right. I'm sorry, ladies. This man is taken. Okay. On a serious note, I think
this is the
you'll
first question.
Yeah, that's the first question. The next question is on a serious note. I'm asking on behalf of some of them. They're asking, what would a typical day be like as someone like you, running a big team? What's a typical day for you? What time do you wake up? What do you do in office? What are things that you do to energize yourself up? What do you do at work in the evening? And I don't need to know.
Okay, seriously, I read a lot of books, and I observe a lot. This is very important because actually, I guess there are a lot of successful people around you. So that's why actually you have a lot of chance to observe, to look why they can be successful. Or maybe the other way around, why they cannot be successful. So actually, there are a lot of teachers that are just out there, they can just teach you. For example, actually tonight, I'll be flying back to Hong Kong. I'll be taking a flight at 1 in the morning tonight. And then when I arrive, it should be 5 in the morning. And I will go back home to take a shower, and then I will head back to my office to start the morning meeting with my team in 8 o'clock in the morning, because actually we have morning meeting from Monday to Saturday starting from 8. Why I do this? I learned this from my manager, from my leader, Terrence, and also from all the executive. They're all very hardworking. Just like Mr. Joe Chan, he left already, he left the room, because he's going to catch the plane at 5:30. In fact, he's late. Serious? Yes. Just now, when he left the room, I watched the clock, and then I watch, and then at that time it was about 3:30, 3:45. So all the executives, they were so hardworking. And so what I want to say is that you have to observe. You have to get some ideas, because no one is going to teach you right sitting next to you to let you know what is exactly doing right or wrong. So you have to figure out, and hardworking is the minimum.
All right, thank you. Maybe the next question can come from the floor. Is anyone have anything you want to ask Derek here? Someone wants to put out a hand, we'll have a mic to you. Right, come on, this lady over here, Helen. Yeah. Can we have a mic for Helen? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Helen.
Hi.
I'm very amazed by your voice. I just want to know, did you write the song yourself?
No, this is a song by Ethan Chen.
Okay. Okay, anyway, that's not my question.
Okay.
Because you mentioned you have so many good friends like Michael and David Beckham, and so you've learned a lot about their failures. I want to hear from you, because many times we hear from successful people about successful stories, but I always like to ask this question: what about your biggest failure? I think the best way for us to learn is something that we can learn from you. Something that you would, if you can do it all over again, you would do it differently. So perhaps you would like to share with us one biggest failure that you have ever faced that we can learn from.
That happened in 2004, which is 12 years ago. And at that time, I just joined the company for 1 year. And at that time, I was still doing my production. And then I didn't have a good practice, good habit, okay? And you know what, in the afternoon, after lunch, and then I went back home to take a nap, or something like that, okay? I was, at that time, I was lazy. And then the reason behind is that for the first 9 months, when I just started my career in AIA, I was very successful, okay, at that time. Of course, successful at that level, okay? Not too bad at that time, okay? And then so, after 9 months, and then I started to think to myself is that, okay, this job, it is not that hard. It is not that difficult. Maybe it is difficult for some people, but it is surely not for me. You see, for what I did in the last 9 months, I did great. So I think it's easy. So since that moment, and then I start to go back to take a nap in the afternoon. I start to finish my work after lunch, something like that. And then I dropped in the first month. And then since after the first month, I still had confidence that I could go back up in the second month. However, the second month, I dropped again. I started to feel scared at that moment, but the whole feeling is still fine. However, in the next month and also the fourth month, which is consecutive four months, altogether I did very, very bad. And then even I asked myself a question: is this the right career that I should stay, or I should just leave? For those 4 months altogether, the FIC altogether was about 10万块港币，就是多少新加坡？2万块，差不多啊？2000块？没有，10万块 altogether in 4 months。对啊，sorry， 是10万块 FIP。如果是 40% 的，就是4万块啊，港币，这就是新加坡多少？8000啊。Oh my God, yes. 4 months altogether. I start to ask myself, I'm a university graduate. Why I stay in this industry? Why? Why don't you just leave? And so that's why I try to correct all my habits. I start to build up my whole system again, and then up till now, and then just now you asked me what's the biggest failure, right? It happened in 2004. That story told me that even for me, I believe that I have the ability to work in this industry. I have the elements. However, if I don't work hard, I can just leave this industry. And then so since then, 就是不敢了，就是不敢了。OK， 现在不敢了，所以就明天就为什么要回去？一开始就上班了。OK， 真的是不敢了。OK。
So I think it's resiliency, a lot of resiliency, right? Okay, we have another question from there, Mr. Lawrence. I think someone can just bring the mic over. Give us a moment. Maybe I'll just repeat the question. Lawrence is asking, what is the one thing that he's doing that causes his FSCs, 90% of them, to be MDRTs?
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. All right.
Atmosphere. Yeah, I create the atmosphere. And everyone, when they just join the team, and I tell them, MDRT is a must. Okay. Starting at the time when I only have 2 members, 3 members, and then I started to tell them MDRT is a must. And of course, my boss has the same value, same philosophy. Should you know my boss, okay? And then now I see it is you, because I just now the light can show you. So the atmosphere is everything. It is the culture, okay? So you have to keep telling your agents, your members, why it is so important to be the MDRT. And in fact, I'm not too sure the money value in Singapore, but I can tell you straight away, in Hong Kong, the MDRT, I mean, according to the FYC, the income, which is so little. You cannot even buy, okay, I would like to say you cannot buy an apartment, but surely you cannot buy an apartment, okay? Even though you have been MDRT for quite many years, you still cannot have enough of money to pay the deposit to buy an apartment. Yes, this is pathetic. Okay. And I also come to think about this, okay? The term millionaire, we have been talking about this term for a couple of years, for a long time, for decades, right? Even for like when my parents, they were still working when they were young, okay? They were talking about millionaires, this term. But just to come to think about it, if nowadays you're still talking about millionaire, that means that you didn't inflate your money. You know what I'm saying? Because millionaire 100万是一个很旧的一个 term. Is that right? So if 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if those people, they were to start talking about the millionaire, that means that nowadays, if you are going to say the same value, that you have to do like 200万、300万，就是这样子。所以就是为什么就是刚才我在我的 team 里面有3个就是 COT, TOT, and you know what? Among those 3 TOTs, actually, the oldest one is 28 or 29. The one in the middle is 26. And by the way, at the 29 years old as a girl, okay, that one, last year, she got double TOT, okay? And then altogether, her income was about 8.6 Hong Kong dollars, which is about 1 million US. 1 million US, or more than 1 million US, okay? And the youngest TOT, that one, she is only 22. Okay, so the age is not a matter. It is not a matter. I asked them, okay, come to think about it. If you are doing this industry, you are doing wealth management, you are doing money relocation, you are suggesting ideas to people. So come to think about it, who are the people you should meet? You should meet your friends. You should meet someone even poorer than you. I don't think so. I'm not trying to be material, but come to think about it, we are in the industry of doing wealth management. If you are meeting with someone, they don't have wealth, then you are actually not doing the right job. Is that right? And also, come to think about the other way around. When you talk about the insurance, when you talk about all the products that we are doing, no matter the saving products, retirement saving, retirement, blah, 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 actually, the bigger the amount, it is not only helping your FYC, it is helping their families. I have a lot of clients. For me, myself, I have about 500 clients. I believe that all my clients, they win more than I do. You believe that? Of course. If I do a saving plan, if I doing insurance, of course I get the commission, right? However, come to think about it, the client can get the benefit from it so far more than I do. So that's why whenever I go out to talk to my client, I will always ask them to give a good budget, to give a huge budget, which is helping them, not me, even helping their families. So last time I talked to my people, one day when I'm having my own district, I will build a board, electrical board, something like maybe half size of the screen. On that board, I will show up a map of the whole world, or maybe China, something like that. I haven't figured out all the things. But it's this electrical board, which is showing that how many policies we are selling. So the number keeps changing. That means that how many families we're helping, not individuals, but families. How many families we're helping. I want to let them know they are helping people out, not the money terms for ourselves, but helping the clients. So that's why my people, they target on the right group of people, and so that's why they can make a good result, well, something like that.
All right, thank you, Derek. One last question. A round of applause for him. I think it's very good sharing. Thank you. All right, we only have time for one last question. Anyone? Anyone? One last question. No one? Okay. All right, so may I now invite our CEO, Patrick Tiao, to come on stage to present a token of appreciation, as well as Wong Zi Kin, our CAO, for the photo-taking session.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Wow, this is beautiful. Okay.
Big round of applause again for Derek Lau.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Derek.